from this meditation. And if there are benefits, may they go to all who are suffering and in need. Hariom. Namaste. Hariom. We can see Swami Ritavan's screen, but we don't see him yet. But he will be speaking about the silence. Many of you are planning to do the silence, and he'll be speaking to that from a spiritual perspective, which is what silence is. It's 6 o'clock in the morning where he is in India, so he may be just a little delayed in getting things started.
Swamiji, could you tell us a little bit about the schedule for the silence retreat? Oh, there he is. Yay.
Sure. Yes. Okay. Then he may begin. Namaste, Swamiji.
Asatoma sadagamaya tamasoma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste and greetings to all. My sincere gratitude to each and every one of you for making time now on your Thursday evening, and for Radha providing the beautiful meditation that is really the message of that stillness, the message of that silence is perennial and always present. Yet the sentiment of those fruits of that peace, of that stillness, of that inner joy are offered, swaha. They're offered by way of not attaching to the expectations, nor of the experiences, even how fleeting they may be, but to the message and to the perennial that always remains present, that samatvam mind, sama, the peaceful mind, the pleasant mind, the beautiful mind, if you so choose. So again, Radha has guided by way of the ever-flowing Ganga of the tradition, that perennial tradition that once again last week, many of you listened to Phil, providing the framework of that in the fabric, the tantra of its appearance. And that tantra is the message of the tradition, is the message of our lineage by way of the Srividya, the science of that weave of the universe. That tantra is the Srividya science. And so all of us, you might say, have been baptized by way of Diksha, the mantra initiation. And in that wholeness, we experience the holiness of being part of that weave, part of that fabric. So each and every day now, by offering the fruits of those attachments, desires, expectations, and the unfulfilled ones that create the anxieties, the miseries, the pains. It is our friend, the mind, who will show you to be a friend or show you to be an enemy by way of blocking, conflicting, covering that perennial message of beauty. So again, Radha, thank you so very much for bringing us together, and for each and every one of you now as we sit together, reminiscing of a very busy month of July. We're on top of the traditional Guru Purnima, the Mahasamadhi of Swami Veda. Here in Sarakagram, we had the extensive month-long fire offerings for both Guru Purnima and Mahasamadhi. We enjoyed them, though it was a bit of a trial in the heat indexes of 120 and 130 to have that blazing fire in front of us for hours and hours. Yet that tapas is simply bringing the nuggets out of the flames in the furnace, to let them shine. So even though we had a minimal attendance by way of the lockdown still in place in the ashram, we were able to embrace that message, asatoma sadagamaya, that it is the real that we are seeking. It is the truth that is the true message. And it is immortality that reminds us of our true nature. So now we have an opportunity there amongst you, and though we can now continue to use these identifiers as Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA. I'm seeing many of you from many other states, even other countries. So yes, we truly are going beyond these boundaries of space and time. Yet the reality is that we practice within a context of that space and time. So the theme of the silence, the practices of that stillness and silence will be constructed by you according to those parameters of the space and time. And no doubt Maratha and Jim Nelson, your other moderator and guide for the silence, who are extremely experienced in this process, having done this over many years, having themselves practice, and in that way are guides to that experience. They will be guiding you, yet the inspiration must come from within. The determination, the will must arise within. And that's why the theme for tonight, your night, is light thy own lamp. And we hear that echoed in many of the scriptures, whether the Christian scriptures, where Jesus says, have those lamps ready, for who knows when the wedding guests will appear. That wedding of the Shiva Shakti, that presence of the holiness in the figure of the Christ consciousness, is the same eternal Brahman, which is blemishless, knowing the three states of waking, dreaming, and sleeping. So we light the lamp of our consciousness, of our soul, and of our mind, maintaining that illumination always. By way of that sankalpa, I can do it. I must do it. I will do it. And in that way, honoring that inner calling, that most deep yearning of your heart and mind, may I experience a small taste of stillness. May I assimilate a small morsel of silence in this busy and hectic world. And I recognize that each of you, all of us, have been through a lot. Have been through, as we reflect, many challenges, many pains, and much suffering. that in ourselves and families, along with the family of humanity. For each of us are those sparks of divinity. Each of us share that equality of being that light. Each of us share the beauty, no matter what color, race, creed, or any other identifier that changes. For all change is temporary and moment to moment. It is gained and lost. So this opportunity, whether it be one day, 3 days over the weekend, 5 days, or you secretly extend it with a very subtle vow of, let me continue holding like a child, holding near and dear this silence, your child that you are giving birth to. Now tonight it's not so much talking in the sense of a lecture, in the sense of even inspiration. For he said, each of you are that inspiration. You must light your lamp. Be ready. Be ready with the oil. Be ready with the wick. Be ready so when the flame touches, it ignites and remains ever present as that illumination of the Spirit. As I said in the little write-up, we're all in the so-called safe at home period. Safe? I hope so. Home? I can see many of you now in your homes, surrounded by those things that you've become identified with as, this is my home, this is my environment. This is where I seek resting, where I enjoy, where I escape, where I find my solitude in the hubbub of the world. Yet as you look around your home, these are your creations, and that which is created will also disappear. I'm reminded of some of our sadhakas that are on their hospital bed now, for I stay in touch with our members around the globe, some of whom have departed now, as we think of Nina, having departed in her beloved place and space here in India, and Pat, who served the tradition for so many years and has taken on the invisible form to maintain that perennial relationship with the lineage now in a new way. And there are a few on their deathbed now. So celebrate life in your home with your loved ones. But in this time of celebration by way of a discipline, We are simply asking you to make a few small changes. Simplify. Identify your location in a, let's say, smaller way, by way of your room, your meditation room, the seat, the meditation seat that you have honored for so many years. That place and space now is sufficient. As you know, some of the tantric practices of our lineage will carry this silence over a 10-day period or a 40-day period. And some of you have practiced 90 days of silence. Some of you joined Swamiji in his 5-year vow of silence for extended periods. So the river flows. Simply maintain that presence. In your home, you will have the challenges of time. So once again, make a schedule. And no doubt Marada and Jim have offered that. And if you are committed, you will follow the schedule as a discipline and as a service, as an honor for the schedule itself as a guide, using time, knowing how to use time, Guru Dev used to say, is the first step of sadhana. And then having your goal. For this 30 minutes, I will remain in my stillness. For this next 30 minutes, I will do my japa. For this next 1 hour, I will consciously and maintain that consciousness in my yoga nidra. Set the sankalpa for each practice. Maintain the concentration even if it's 1 minute. Yes, 1 minute. For in those 12 or 15 breaths, that is all there is necessary for dharana. The state of mind that is ekagra, single-pointed, concentrated, aware of that one object. 1 minute. 1 minute of those 12 breaths. We're in that exhalation, guided to embracing and encompassing the inhalation. The unbroken flow of that one creates the one mind wave. That single wave in which all other waves will merge. That single wave that flows and continues to flow to the next minute and next minute and next minute. That one wave, that ekagra state of mind over those 12 minutes. A simple, short 12 minutes of this uninterrupted single flow of the one thought, the ekagra mind, is dhyana, meditation. Meditation now as your goal. So simple yet so sublime. So satisfying. In those 12 minutes, you have achieved Nirodha, the Samadhi state. So enjoy. And enjoy with determination. Enjoy with the sankalpa of willpower. Yet also casting away any kind of blame, any kind of criticisms, whatever mistake, whatever inability. It is simply the lessening of an ability. It is the lessening of a strength. So come back to the strength, come back to the ability. And that goal becomes your purpose. That beauty is the purpose. That satiety is the purpose of that immortality, of that truth, of that which is real. So using time, using the space you have, now immediately you find that there's these habit patterns, those grooves that the mind has continually taken. I need a break. Where can I go? What can I eat? Should I order out? I need to stay at home. Let me just order out. I'm hearing this phrase. I don't know what you're ordering. Maybe you're ordering another taste of samadhi. But you're ordering out so you don't have to go out. But who is involved in that call, in that message, in that preparation, in that drive, in that hurriedness, in that pain, in that suffering that you have caused? For every act has its reciprocal pain, as we know from the Yoga Sutras. Will an apple suffice? Will simply warming that which was ready for you before suffice without going out, staying in the home, staying in the 2 rooms of your meditation room or your kitchen? Yet as you pass through the living room, no doubt, oh, I should do this. Oh, I better tell my daughter this. Oh, I must remind my spouse that later today she needs to do this, he needs to do that. So these grooves of your vasanas will always be feeding your manas mind, conscious mind, thinking mind that is creating the wave upon wave upon wave. Make your mind a friendly place. Say to your mind, Is that word necessary? Oh, no, not now. This afternoon, I will tell her. I will write a note. But again, as Swamiji used to say, don't make it a dance by way of your mimes, by way of trying to act out since you're unable to speak. You use this hand language, you use this expression, you use this frown. Please, be an insider. Maintain the beauty of that inner stillness. Let the mind smile. So you know about the vasanas, and in that way, coming of the emotions of the unconscious coming forward, powerful ways by way of their habit patterns, powerful ways by which these emotions are tied into these instinctual urges, and those of the food, sleep, sex, and self-preservations are identified with the senses, and the strengths of those sense objects that continue to be drawn into perceptions, continue to be thought about and cognized by way of your importer. But tell the importer, the exporter, not necessary right now. Tell your ego, let go. Who talks to the ego? The ego is only the manager. Who is the CEO of your mind? Your buddhi, your faculty of intelligence. Buddhi tells the ego, the ahamkara, the I maker, the importer and exporter that's creating these waves. Slow down, simplify, not now. Cancel the order. For what will the buddhi offer? Immediately the ego will grab hold of the emotion. And the buddhi will say, not necessary. For these senses, they too belong to me. By way of that stillness, practice non-possessiveness. By way of all 5 of these senses, you will practice the pillars of sadhana and apply them in this weekend of silence. For the movement is identified with grasping, holding. By way of non-possessiveness, you will emphasize that this sense of movement can be given a sublime outlet through stillness. By way of the control of senses, as is called celibacy, brahmacharya, that too the buddhi will say, grab hold of yourself, meaning that sense that is moving outward. Let it find its source, its grand and magnificent origin within. By way of your instinctual urge of food, identified as the pillar of fasting? What is that sense of sight being drawn toward? That fiery element by way of the unfulfilled becoming anger. The fulfilled becoming a fear that too may turn to anger. By way of the heart center, by way of this control of sleep as the pillar of touch. Touch once again by way of reality, satya, truth. For what you touch with your limbs is not that which is real. And that which is real is your goal and your purpose, satya, satya, truth. Experience truth in each moment by way of the satisfaction of your heart, the fulfillment of your desires, the releasing of those unfulfilled dreams, and thereby the deep state of yoga nidra as you enter the heart cave, finding satiety, for you have once again understood the purpose of life. Coming to the ajna center associated with the sense of hearing, silence. Silence in so many beautiful attributes has been given in Swami Veda's teachings over many, many years. And I hope that you have the two manuals now, Volume 1 and Volume 2 on silence. For Volume 2 will be your handbook, what to do and how to do. Volume 1 will inspire. Volume 2 will give you the marching orders. Now, this. Silence. Silence as one of the pillars of your sadhana, your ambition, your regeneration. For if you can accomplish on this weekend a true sublime silence, it will nourish you not only for the next month, but for the next 6 months. It'll bring you to the end of this 2020 and guide you into the 2021 with faith, with hope, and with renewed love. Love for yourself and family, love within those bubbles that I'm hearing. Oh, this is my friend I can trust. This is my bubble that I can trust. Simply trusting means loving, expanding. Can that bubble once again be the entire globe? Each day in our meditations, we send that bubble around the globe by way of the samasti chitta, the universal mind field, the true bubble of our consciousness. So let your bubble carry you through this weekend. Let your love be an embracing of these disciplines and of this beauty. As I see the many names and identify the many faces, I can only feel the blessings of the Guru. I can only act in that manner by way of the Guru. In the little that I can do, though I wish that I will do more, that I can embrace that bubble of humanity, for that is the Guru spirit. Let us each do our part. Let us each do our service, our seva, selflessly and skillfully. Maratha and Jim will be continuing to check in with you. Please, if you have your comments and questions that you have journaled over the day, when it comes time to check in, you have simplified those 5 or 10 or 20 questions into one. You have simplified all those actions and reactions by way of those sentiments, by way of those emotions, into what has been the lessening of your strength. And in that way, simply share the lesson you learn and how to once again strengthen that inner strength that had been lessened, and thus the fault identified. Simplify, yet share. It is a Sangha, as a community by which the silent ones are offered to speak from silence. Speak from that source of the infinite that is silent. So whether it comes in a word or two or a sentence, or simply one of the Mahavakyas, Om Tat Sat, Om Tat Twamasi, Om Brahma Asmi, Om Come Brahma. The Mahavakya that Swami Veda gave to us as his last wish, Om Come Brahma. For that Kam, Ka, is the space element, the Akasha, the Shunya. It is the space within your home. It is the space within your meditation room. It is the space within that you traverse with your Shava Yatra, the procession through your corpse. It is the space in your heart center. That cave of the heart is the Kam, Om, Kam, Brahma. There I find my beauty, my essence, my beloved. So please do continue to be supportive by way of the Samasti Chitta through your meditations, full moon meditations as well now as your frequent, more frequent meditations. These 1 or 2 minute meditations. Many times throughout the day. A simple pause that draws an awareness back to the place and space that your body occupies. In that empty space, come. That flow of the eternal spirit as the prana stream, the breath rhythm, where the exhaling becomes an inhaling, becomes an unbroken flow, becomes. No longer as a sound, simply riding the breath wave. No longer as the word, so hum, the hamsa. Simply the syllables hum, so as that one wave of mantra. The mantra that is near and dear. The mantra, the word that is the voice of your soul. Calling out in silence, I am here, I am that, Tattvamasi. Yet even that contemplation is drawn to the silent cave of your heart. Where the buddhi no longer acting as that mirror of the illuminating spirit, mirroring that flame of your Atman. It is fully transparent, pure mind, now seeing yourself. You, the Atman, knowing yourself to be Tat, that. In that 1 minute, in those few minutes, in that half hour, in that 1 hour, in that continuity of the 1 hour as you move about, you carry that temple, you carry that presence, you carry that sanctum always within. May I simply offering the blessings of the lineage to each and every one of you now as you make your sankalpa, as you set your goal, as you walk the path of purposeful living. As you do so supported by the Sangha, the living presence of one as many and the many as one. The Guru Spirit remains with you always. And may God and Guru bless you. May that silence of peace fill your heart. May the ultimate stillness of mind be the ever-present light of love. I am now reminded by my assistant that I'm due in the meditation hall for our hour-long morning meditation. So please, I ask forgiveness for departing, but I know that you are in the watchful eyes, the careful hands, the loving heart, and you will succeed. God bless you.
Swamiji, shall we end the session, or do you want to talk about the schedule a little bit?
We talked about the schedule last night at the orientation. I didn't know if there was someone who was the host for this session, but if anyone has any questions about the schedule, I can talk about that. Otherwise, those who are attending and were at the orientation last night are aware. We could maybe close with just another minute of silence, silent meditation. So just become aware the place where you're sitting and let the body relax and bring the mind's attention to the breath, the touch and flow, and then let the mantra flow in your mind. Hariom, Namaste. For those of you who are joining us in silence, we'll see you early tomorrow morning for prayers. Hariom.